On the 31st of December 2019, the World Health Organization confirmed that a number of health cases in Wuhan, China were caused by COVID-19. And now, almost a year later, about 188 countries and territories have been affected, and South Africa is one of them. To say that the world has changed drastically, I still think, would be an understatement. The South African government announced a lockdown in March of 2020, and that meant that only a number of businesses would be able to operate. Certain people would have salary cuts, other people would lose their jobs, would not be able to pay rent, would not be able to afford food. There was a curfew, and the military was deployed in some areas of South Africa as well. I think we understand to an extent how this has affected people. But actually hearing people's stories, hearing them tell us how it's affected them, I think would really put it into perspective. So I went out onto the streets and I asked people, how has COVID-19, how has the pandemic affected you? And this is what they had to say.
It's affected my life negatively because my company got sold. We went through a restructure. But luckily, by the grace of God, I got a position in the new company that was sold to. And it also affected my child negatively because she missed out on a lot of therapy sessions she was supposed to get for speech. And now she's lagging because of it. But at least now schools are open, so she's going to try and catch up on that. Yeah.
No, you affected our life because we didn't get salary, we didn't get paid, we didn't work. You see, it affected too many things, you see, for our life, you see. We didn't manage to get paid, we didn't manage our boss to pay us because there's no business, you see. So for us it's very difficult to save life, you see.
Corona time, man, yazi, the way after khona empilweni yami, sure, yazi kunzima, but nokuthi sifunde ngokubona kwezinye izinto elifeni, you understand? Nokuhlala endlini nokuthi umuntu angaphazamisani nomuntu, umuntu enza into yakhe, even this time of business, everything. Yeah, anyway, sizoqaleni phansi ngokendi. Ndine story esinzima kabe ngikhalele nokuthi ndisithethe nami endiye sithola kule COVID-19 yabo. Ndafuma sekubanda yaye ndayijele. So ufuma kwami ejele Sun City. Ngibotshwa ngoAugust bengixabane nomuntu wami but hayi ukuthi umbetha kumabhiza masesaxabana okay nda-accepta wanibopisa. Nje ndahlala 3 weeks. Eish ubuhlungu endibubone phana ngabantu abasejele yabo. The way bekhala ukuthi no like even kwisikhathi selanto isikhathi sekhonora balahlekelwa ngama-date kwabuhlungu yabo bengatholi ne-visitors. Eish kunzima siswami, so nami ndiye nda-experience i-life enzima, so ndafika nami ndazama ukulina amabona ndabancedisa, so ndatsho ukuthi nangaphandle ngiba ndiphumile nje like nami ndisafuna ukuthi ngiqokolele i-life yami siswami. Yeah.
Yes, I can say it affected also in a positive way, of course. As I speak, I have a member of the family who is just recovering, and yes, we are still waiting, hoping for the outcome. But I set some priorities for me during the pandemic and this new normal. The first was to live very well the present moment. And the second one was to embrace also the suffering of the others. And the third one was to try to understand how I can create fraternity around me, collaboration. And I see a lot of positive things coming as a result in a human ground or level. So in some aspects I can see that we are going through a very difficult time and we are not yet through, and maybe the true face of this pandemic is still going to show itself. But we can build something together out of this disaster.
Well, honestly, it wasn't really bad for me because I was stuck in a job I didn't like, so I felt like the world was coming to an end, and then like it got me into shape. It got me to actually be brave and like just go out and get whatever I want, and I'm actually getting it now. So as for other people, I feel like it just showed that more people need to be like more independent and not too dependent on whatever they're getting or whatever income they get. Yes, that's all I gotta say, man. I can't say much.
I think it's actually affected my life in a nice way. I enjoy working from home, so I get to spend a lot of my time in my place by myself doing my own thing. So it hasn't really affected me negatively.
As an artist, in many ways, the biggest one is financially, because we live off gigs, and there's been less gigs during COVID-19, and I record people. That's how I make some extra cash on the side. So nobody can come to my place because there were strict rules. So that's how it has affected me.
Affected. A lot of things have changed. You see, we have experienced a lot of retrenchment at work, and the working environment is completely different now. We can't take everyone back in the office. Some people have to stay at home, some people have to be retrenched. Our future is very bad. The transportation system has also affected our lives because transportation fare just went up, skyrocketing after COVID-19.
As you go about doing your normal tasks and as you go about doing your daily routine, please note that people are still being affected by this pandemic. Maybe you've bounced back and life has returned to normal. But for a number of ordinary people and South Africans, life will never be the same again. The people that you walk past, the people that you bump into, the people who you stand in line behind, know that this pandemic truly has affected them, and you just don't know to what extent it has affected them. So be kind and be wary, and know that it has affected people just as much as it's affected you.